Cloaked in darkness, Shawn Park, a.k.a. Surge, crouched on the roof of the building across from the two-story brick structure that housed Great River Legacy Bank. Streetlights illuminated an empty parking lot, and faint lights shone from within. Something moved behind the second-floor window. Shawn tapped his earpiece. "I see someone on the second floor, third window in. Anyone else?" "I've tapped into the security cameras. It's just the night watchman, Park." Crystal, the team captain, a veteran superhero with invisibility powers, replied over the comm. "I know you're eager to get your first real takedown on the books, but trust me, newbie, there's a lot of waiting in superheroing." Shawn bit his tongue. This would not be his first takedown. A little over a year before, he'd gone up against a vengeful villain named Mithriant who had chosen bringing Shawn down as his life's goal. Shawn had prevailed in that challenge, but since it was not an official Department of Super-Abled mission, most dosables, short for super-ableds, didn't count it towards his record. He would have liked for his team to stop treating him like a complete greenhorn, but as the newest and, at 23, the youngest member, he had the common sense to keep his pride in line and just accept the ribbing. "I'm with the new guy." Rapids, the team's speed sable, moaned. Shawn glanced toward the far corner of the roof where he knew her to be stationed. Rapids, whose non-handle name was Rita Diaz, stirred in the shadows. "Are we sure of our intel? We've been waiting for hours." "My source is reliable," Maestro chimed in. He didn't even know I had ears in the room, so he had no reason to lie. Even though Maestro was stationed on the other side of the bank from Shawn, the younger man's skin still crawled. Maestro called his powers puppeting, but what that essentially meant was he could put himself in a trance-like state and project himself into other people's bodies for short periods, seeing through their eyes, hearing through their ears, and even taking over their actions. So far, Shawn had only seen him doing this on training missions, but Crystal would sometimes send Maestro to project himself into haunts frequented by those connected to the villain scene and have him listen in for tips. That was how the team had learned that a safety deposit box in this particular bank held something of enough value to have attracted a bounder, a villain with size manipulation powers who specialized in high-end robberies. The target was a diamond, recently transferred from a private home with top-of-the-line security due to the owner's sudden death. Apparently, the valuable gem had caused a squabble among heirs, and the executor had taken it into protective custody until the matter could be settled. A bounder had gotten the tip from a disgruntled employee, and Maestro had been certain that the heist would be going down that night. "Honestly, I'm fine if the guy doesn't show up." Shawn started. This time, the voice wasn't in his ear, but came from behind him. He spun, his powers kicking in and pushing him a foot off the ground. Rick, the team's fifth member, jumped back a step. "Easy." He held up his hands. Ice crystals shimmered about his fingers as if he'd sprinkled his extremities in glitter. Rick's hero handle was Pleistocene, which Shawn still wasn't confident in pronouncing, so he was glad the guy was cool about being called by his given name. From what he could tell, Rick was never uncool about anything. Appropriate, considering his powers. "Aren't you supposed to be down there?" Shawn pointed toward the alley behind the bank. "Crystal took over there and told me to come up here," Rick said. Shawn's stomach twisted. There was only one reason Crystal would have told Rick to change posts. She wanted someone to babysit the new guy.